joined now by Greg Buchanan, host of the Tuesday Night Sports Show. And Bucky, let's start locally here. The Bandits had a tough weekend against some stiff competition. What went wrong for the Bobcats this weekend?
Well, for the Bobcats, they go into Grand Prairie. They have a good start. They jump out to a 4-1 lead, look comfortable. And they got into a run and gun with Grand Prairie. And Grand Prairie has some skill. Their top 6 forwards are as good as any top 6 forwards in the entire AJHL. And when you give them time and space, what turned into a 4-1 game and maybe kind of easier way through the game and salted way in the third period, it got into a run and gun. And it was last team that scored wins. Grand Prairie's last team that scored, they won. And then you're licking your wounds because the next night you go right back at it in GP. And unfortunately for them, their starter, who started in net the night before, got sick overnight. The backup was an affiliate, which is from the Bandits. Eric Cook did very well, but not good enough for the win. And they took 2 on the chin. But you know what? They come out of that, and they have to build on that time when they had that 4-1 lead and not look back to the why they lost that game and why they lost the next night.
Well, Drayton Valley on Wednesday for the Bobcats. Kind of you mentioned the 4-1 lead for them. What can they build off to head into the next game?
That you had a 4-1 lead and you're on the road in a 4-1 lead. You can build on that. What you have to look at is the reason why you lost that lead. And you got to get stronger defensively in your own end. And that does not just mean the defense. I mean, that means everybody coming back in support of that D and in support of the goalie. And I think at times you get into a 4-1 game, guys get thinking, I'm going to get a few points here tonight, and all of a sudden it's 4-2. Then it's 4-3, then it's 4-4, and then game's on. And sometimes you lose focus. And you know, Nigel Dubé has done a great job. He made a trade last week as well, a veteran player that's off to Manitoba. And he's going to have the right core there eventually. Is it going to happen this season? Probably not, because he doesn't have much time left. January 10th deadline is coming up, and that's a big deadline, everybody in junior hockey. So we'll see what he does going forward for the next couple of weeks. But you know what? During the offseason is where he's going to make his mark.
So you mentioned as well just the affiliate goaltender for the Bobcats from the Bandits. What can you tell me about Eric Cook and as well heading into the Bandits' second half, another tough weekend for them?
A tough one for them. Again, similar to the Bobcats. The Bandits had a 4-1 lead against Killam halfway through the second period. And then it got a little, well, Western, as they say in hockey. It got a little rough. The Bandits were killing penalty after penalty. And when you're giving a team like Killam ample opportunities in the power play, they're going to score on them, and they did. And they ended up losing that one by 1, and then they didn't show up to play against Frog Lake team that has a lot of skill and lost 2 in the weekend. And now as for Eric Cook, he's a 17-year-old goalie. The backup for the Bandits right now has a bright future. When you're 17 and you're playing against kids that are 20 and 21 years of age like Eric is doing with the Bandits, and he's holding his own, good sign for the future for Eric.
So 1 win for the Bandits against Frog Lake and 1 loss in the last week against Frog Lake. What went wrong for the second game for the Bandits and what went right?
Christmas. The Christmas break, a lot of turkey, guys coming out of that Christmas break, and that's the tough part. Coming out of that Christmas break, and depending how much skating you did in during that Christmas break, you have a lot of turkey to wear off. You got to get your legs under you, and then in that situation, they played Saturday night, and then they played less than 24 hours later at 5 o'clock on Sunday. So not a lot of rest. And the lungs weren't there exactly on Sunday, so we'll see if they're better. And they have to be better. Saturday, they go to Provost and play against a pretty good team in Wainwright.
Now, we're running out of time here, but your Tuesday Night Sports Show, what's coming up for you?
Well, Tuesday Night Sports Show, we're going to take a look at the NFL with Eric Nelson from CBS Radio and TV out in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Also, Wade Redden, a former NHL or NHL insider, and a former member of the World Junior Championship team. So he'll talk about the NHL, talk about the World Junior Championship as well.
Perfect. We'll have a little bit more coming up on Primetime Local News, but let's head to break.